All right, we have Villanova student athletes Ryan Archidiacono and Darren Hillard. Head coach Jay Wright will begin with a statement from Coach Wright. Coach.
First, I want to give credit to NC State. They played a great game, and I think they were able to impose their will and do the things that they did well all season, and take us out of what we do well. And I think they did that with great perimeter defense and great protection of the rim. I also want to say, being in Pittsburgh, for an old Big East town, I want to thank everybody in Pittsburgh. Everybody's so nice to us here. It's a great weekend in Pittsburgh. It's a great town, and really appreciate all the people at Duquesne and all the Pitt people that were just so nice to us here. It was great to spend a weekend here. Tough way to leave, but great weekend in Pittsburgh.
All right, questions for the student athletes only, please. Joe.
Joe Giuliano, Philadelphia Inquirer. Darren, early in the game, you guys missed a few layups. I know you guys are always next play, but did you kind of wonder what was going on in the first half and second half? You missed a couple more.
No, we weren't really worried about our misses. We got great looks, got to the basket, and we just had to go in halftime and work on our decision making. I don't think missing those layups or those easy baskets really fazed us. It was just our decision making and taking them.
Right here.
Sam Warner, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Ryan, when the outside shots weren't falling for you guys tonight, I mean, were you thinking, let's try and score other ways, or was it just, let's keep looking for shots and they'll start falling eventually?
We just tried to take open looks and try to mix things up because they were trying to take away our three-point shots. So we kind of changed it up. We got some better looks in the second half. Darren and Phil were the only one able to knock some downs, but we were just trying to. We should have got a little bit more in the mid-range, but we were trying to get in the lane and then try to second cut, look for each other on the perimeter.
Right here.
Nick Vittori, Villanova, Arch and Darren. The game reminded me a lot of the Xavier game on the road and the beginning of St. John's at Wells Fargo. Did you guys think that things were going to turn around? They were just shooting the ball really well. You weren't. And that second half, you would come out firing and take over?
Well, we've been in games like this many times this year, like you said. Xavier, St. John's, Syracuse. We've been in battles like this before, and today wasn't our day. There's some higher purpose in this, and we'll take the good with the bad. But we've been through many battles like this before, and we're going to take this one in the chin, and we're going to come back tomorrow as better people.
Other questions for student athletes? Anyone? Bob.
Darren, you don't get to come back tomorrow, unfortunately, next year. I mean, was that on your mind as things were going down towards the end, and you were trying to will the team back into it?
I'm still going to be here tomorrow. I'm not going nowhere.
You're right.
I'm not even when I leave Villanova, I'm still going to be here. Nothing's going to change with that. And my mindset of me leaving or what's going to happen in the future, that had nothing to do with the game. So I wasn't thinking about that at all. And like I said, I'm going to be here tomorrow and the next day and the next day too.
Anyone else? Go ahead.
Mike Sealski from the Philadelphia Inquirer. For Ryan, there was a sizable gap between you guys and the rest of the Big Five this year. There was a pretty sizable gap between you guys and the rest of the Big East. Does that change? How do you look at the totality of your year when you win 33 games and only lose 3 times and are going home now?
We judge ourselves on Villanova basketball, and I think we did that throughout the whole year. And 3 games this year, we weren't able to do it. The other team was better that day. So I think that's you just have to credit NC State for the way that they played, but that doesn't define our whole season. I mean, we've won back-to-back Big East championships and a Big East tournament championship for the first time in 20 years. So I don't think. Yes, this hurts. It hurts everyone that we're not making it to the next weekend, but I think we battled down to the very last second, we did what we do, and we work every single day on end-of-game situations like that, and I just think we executed it to the best of our ability.
All right, anyone else for student athletes? All right, gentlemen, thank you.
Great job.
All right, questions for Coach Wright?
Sam Warner, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Coach, you said yesterday that you were a little nervous about what their big men could do to you after what you saw against LSU. Is that pretty much what came true tonight?
Yeah, I think we started to see in the LSU game that they started to get a lot more balance, and their young big guys started coming along. I think that's a great credit to Mark and his staff. I think they stuck with those guys. They're young, and at this point in the year, they're gaining confidence and playing great. We did a pretty good job on their guards, only giving them three threes, but their forwards inside, and when they had 4 guys in double figures, and 2 of those guys were their forwards. That didn't happen a lot for them this year. So we, in some ways, did what we wanted to do defensively, but those forwards really stepped up and were a big difference, and on the offensive glass.
Right here.
Tony DeFazio, Pittsburgh Sports Report. Jay, a lot will be made about your shooting percentage today, but your kids did hit some big shots down the stretch, and you guys did make some runs. It seemed like NC State, though, answered just about every time. Was there something that, you just talk about your inability to get some stops in some of those situations?
Yeah, I think it was a combination of us not making good decisions early in the game. We were getting shots, but not good shots. And we were taking a lot of contested shots, but that's a credit to their defense. And I thought there was a couple times there at the end of the game where we could have got a rebound. We had a stop. We didn't get a rebound. We had a stop, got a rebound, jump ball. We didn't protect the ball. So all those little things are going to cost you when you're playing a good team. And it's kind of what Ryan was referring to. They're not things we normally do, but we did them today. And when you do them, you have to give the credit to the opponent also. They force you into those situations.
Joe.
Joe Giuliano, Philly Inquirer. Jay, did you think the guys looked a little tight at the beginning? It seemed like when they missed those easy shots early, not easy shots, but close-in shots early on, that you thought they might be thinking about that?
You know what, Joe? I didn't see it as tight. I looked at it more as overly aggressive early. Like I thought we took some shots where we could have made extra passes. That's something that's been. I think that's something that's been an advantage for us this year. I think we took the shots that normal teams would take tonight, and they did a great job contesting, whereas we normally make extra passes. And again, I think you got to give them some credit too. When it looked like we had open shots, they came out of nowhere to contest, or to be there at the rim, So it's a combination.
Bob.
Bob Ford, Philadelphia Inquirer. Jay, I have to ask you the perspective question. It's sort of what Ryan alluded to. 33-3, and you win the league tournament, and it's a great season, but it's hard to have that feeling right now. And it's an age-old question, and I'm sure you've got the answer. But where's the perspective going to come from, and how long is it going to take?
It's it's the unique struggle in sports. I'm so proud of this team, proud of all their accomplishments. The season is broken down into segments, the preseason, the regular season, and the postseason tournaments. Last year, postseason tournaments, we didn't do a good job at all. This year, Big East tournament did a good job. Here, I always look at tournaments as matchups. I know we have to answer to the fact that we did not get to the second weekend again. We have to own that, but it's not going to define us, within our program. It's going to define us outside of our program, and we accept that. But I think what Darren was alluding to was we're going to go back to work tomorrow in all the little things that we do outside of basketball to keep building our program, keep making everybody better. And the guys that graduate are a part of making those younger guys better. And that's what Darren was referring to, that even though he's not playing anymore, he'll still be around in the spring, still working with the young guys. And that's what we'll concentrate on. But I don't want to – we're not afraid to fail. We failed here in this NCAA tournament, and we got to accept it, and we got to own it and live with it. But it won't define us.
Right here.
Nick Vittori, Villanova. Coach, at any point during the game, whether it was in the first half or maybe even late in the second half, did UConn and even St. Mary's back in 2010 pop into your mind?
You know, a good question. No, not at all. I just felt like we were a different team. I was so focused on this game and what we had to do, and I never, you know, I never thought of that. I didn't at all. Now that you bring it up, good point. It's very similar, but not during the game.
Mike.
Jay, it didn't seem to matter what five you had on the floor necessarily in terms of keeping them off the glass. What are you pointing to on what you didn't do to keep them out?
I think it was a combination of their guards breaking us down and forcing our forwards to come to help, and they're very disciplined, NC State, at that aspect of the game, that when their guards drive, their forwards are not looking to catch passes. They're looking to go offensive rebound. They did it all year. They did it to LSU. And that hurt us. And it's kind of what Darren was talking about, decision making. You know, guard comes at you. Do you really? It's a quick decision. Do I have to come and help, or do I let him take the shot and stick with my man for a rebound? And we had some poor decisions that way. But again, you got to give NC State credit. They came hard at the rim, and we couldn't get a lineup on the floor that could control the glass.
Any other questions for Coach
Again,
Wright?
it wasn't the four; it was the guards getting beat by their guards.
Any other questions for Coach Wright?
Thank you,
All right,
guys.
thanks.